Hello everyone, thank you for listening and watching. If this video has found you, there's a mystery message here for you. So please take what resonates and leave the rest. This is a pick a spirit animal energy reading, a timeless reading that I post every Sunday. So like I said, this is a mystery message from spirit animals. One thing to remember or notice about these particular spirit animals is that they all have a great sense of smell. So you may be what's called clairalience. I think that's how you pronounce it. Clairalience, which is psychic smelling. Okay. So you might be able to smell good energy and bad energy. So take that if it resonates. So take a moment to meditate to see what spirit animal or spirit animals has a message for you. There may be more than one. You can pause the video if you need more time. Otherwise, let's get into the readings. For those of you who chose Black Panther, as I mentioned in the intro, Black Panther and all of these spirit animals have a great sense of smell. So you may be clairalience. I think that's how you say it. But again, take that if it resonates. If you chose Black Panther, you may be going through a dark night of the soul or some kind of major transformation, ascension. I feel like a lot of energies may have been coming to the surface, things that you've suppressed, things that you have pushed down. They're coming up for healing and release. Spirit and Black Panther both say that it's time for you to remove the mask and be your authentic self. You might find yourself separating from people, situations, and things that were once so important to you or you thought you couldn't live without. But when you're doing shadow work, there's definitely a need for more solitude. You could be a Scorpio or have a Scorpio placement in your chart, so take that if it resonates. But Black Panther will help you to be strong and courageous as you face your shadow self. Okay, for some of you, I'm hearing you might feel like you're depressed, but what I'm hearing is it's divine discontent. Maybe you're starting to realize, for lack of a better phrase, how fucked up your life is, okay? Or maybe you're realizing that you need to make some changes, and these changes might seem daunting, or you have no idea how you're going to change. Remember that we only have to be willing to change. The universe will show us the hows. Just be willing, right? You will find your empowerment through surrender. That's what I'm hearing. And trusting the process. So maybe you're somebody that likes to have a lot of control over things. Maybe you are kind of a control freak. And this shadow work energy is teaching you how to surrender and let go and really trust spirit, trust the processes of life. I'm also hearing that for some of you, what you resist will persist. Maybe you have been getting the intuitive hits and guidance to go into, some shadow work or to, isolate yourself a little bit or to focus on more spiritual growth and healing, and you haven't done that. And now it feels like maybe life is kind of forcing you to do it. Okay. So if you're guided to make changes, to make cuts, whatever it is you need to do, you need to get on it. The time is now. Okay. Another message of Black Panther is that somebody could be stalking you, and maybe you know who this person is, but Spirit says and Black Panther says that they're more dangerous than you think they are. I'm hearing that whoever this person is, they're erratic, they're impulsive. I'm hearing crime of passion. Most people are killed by people that they used to love, people that they care about, family members, lovers, friends. Okay, it's not usually it's not a stranger that kills somebody. It's somebody that they are emotionally connected to. Okay, but I'm hearing that this person might be smiling in your face, but plotting on you. Okay, so protect your energy on all levels, spiritually and physically. Another message for Black Panther is that maybe you're a mother and you're trying to leave a toxic situation with your children, a toxic marriage, a toxic relationship. Know that the time is now for you to make the move. I'm also hearing that you need to not tell anybody that what your plans are, that you're planning to leave. Don't tell a whole bunch of people unless these are people that are going to help you. Otherwise, you need to move in silence. That's what I'm hearing. I've talked about this several times, how my son and I, we were living in Oakland, and I had a stalker situation, and I had to move in silence. I had to leave in the middle of the night. I had to leave everything I owned. Me and my son left with 2 backpacks and the clothes on our back. But I had to get out of that situation, okay? And for some of you, that might be what's going on, right? Maybe you're thinking, oh, I want to take this, or how am I going to do that? And what about my furniture, my clothes, this and this and that? All of that can be replaced, not your life, okay? Not the well-being of your children, all right? You need to get out of that situation. If an opportunity is presenting itself, take it, all right? Allow Black Panther to give you the strength, the courage, and the wisdom to do what it is you need to do, whether that's shadow work or moving on in silence, all right? So I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Have a wonderful day. Namaste. For those of you who chose Walrus, as I mentioned in the intro, Walrus and all of these other spirit animals have a great sense of smell. So you may be clairalience, clear smelling. I hope that's how that's pronounced. But anyways, if you chose Walrus, I feel like you're on a new career path, or you've started a new business. Some of you, I'm hearing, are becoming teachers of some sort, because this is your life purpose. Your archetype is to be a teacher. For some of you, I feel like you feel that you're not ready, or that you don't have all the skills and resources you need to be a success. But with Walrus showing up, this is telling you that you are more powerful than you think, and that spirit will maintain and sustain you in whatever this endeavor is, whatever it is you're learning how to do, whether it's a business or you're, training to be a teacher of some sort. Don't feel like, I'm hearing that you might feel like you have imposter syndrome, but you have all of the skills and the education. I'm hearing you just need to refine it. You need to focus on more personal and professional development so that you can feel more prepared in your offering, so you can feel like your work is more valuable, right? Because people can sense when you're not confident, when you don't believe in yourself. There's also a message here that you need to have thicker skin. Don't allow the opinions of other people to distract you. Don't allow others to make you feel inferior, or that you don't belong in that professional space because maybe you don't have as much experience as them, or maybe you have a new and different approach. But I'm also hearing that for some of you, you just might be very intimidating, right? Maybe you have an intimidating presence, and it can trigger people in different ways. Like maybe you're in an environment where everybody else is smaller than you, or what I'm hearing is very specific. Like maybe you work in like finance or some other kind of like corporate type of environment, but you're a bodybuilder, or, you're a beauty pageant participant or something like that. So you kind of stick out a little bit. People notice that about you. So take that if it resonates. But I feel like you might sometimes feel some type of way because of your size or how you look, but know that this is your energy, okay? So feel more confident. Allow yourself to love yourself exactly as you are. Have total faith and total trust in yourself, your work, your purpose. And I know that's easier said than done, but pray for these things. Ask for these things. Ask for more confidence. Ask for guidance on how you can love and approve of yourself and feel more confident and valuable in your chosen field, right? Another message of Walrus is that they're not big fans of change, okay? But I feel like it's because you feel like you can't adapt. You feel like maybe there's too steep of a learning curve, but understand that you have all of the skills and the abilities that you need to be a success, to make these changes. You could be a Taurus or a Capricorn, so take that if it resonates. I'm also hearing that you need to surround yourself with more like-minded people. Immerse yourself in your career. Join groups, organizations, classes where you can meet more people, where you can learn more, bounce ideas off of people. Walrus is also a message that You may also be worried about how your new business or your new job is going to affect your home and family life. I feel like you're somebody that, takes a lot of pride in your family. You're very protective. You're very much a family person. So I know it's hard. Work-life balance can be hard, but make sure that you're not neglecting your loved ones because you're so caught up in your work, especially in the beginning when you're learning and you're trying to build a new business. You've got to put in a lot of time, a lot of hours, and that's just what it is, But understand that if you're aware of this, you can make adjustments, right? I'm getting a message too about this stubbornness, right? That you could be even patriarchal. Maybe you're somebody that favors traditions. Maybe you're, religious. So find some balance in that. Learn where you need to be more flexible, where you need to be more adaptable. All right. Another message that I'm getting, and this is very specific, is that some of you need to pay more attention to what your children are looking at online. Protect their energy. Make sure that they're not doing anything they're not supposed to. They're not talking to people they're not supposed to. They're not looking at anything they're not supposed to. So there's a message here that you need to monitor your children's online activity a little bit better. But overall, Walrus energy is very protective, very strong, very much leadership energy. So know that you have all that it takes to be a success in your business. You have all that it takes to create a healthy, balanced, and successful home life. All right. So I hope this video was helpful, or this message was helpful for you. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Have a wonderful day. Namaste. For those of you who chose Antelope, as I mentioned in the intro, Antelope and all of these spirit animals have a great sense of smell. So you may be clairaudience, clear smelling. I don't think I'm saying that right, but anyways. Antelope brings a message of rapid karma, sometimes even a warning, okay? Antelope is about repentance. Repentance means simply turning around and going in another direction. I'm hearing that you can run, but you can't hide. So whoever you are, life is speeding up, things are happening, and you need to adapt, okay? Decisions need to be made, I'm hearing. And perhaps these are decisions you've been avoiding. For some of you, you're overthinking something instead of trusting your intuition and following it. You might be creating all these scenarios in your head instead of finding out what's really going on and making and taking decisive action. Okay? There's something that's going on around you that needs your attention. You can sense something is off too about a person or a situation. And this reading is confirmation of that. Okay? I'm hearing that you need to ask some very uncomfortable and important questions. Again, questions that you might have been avoiding because they're uncomfortable, or because you already know the answer and you're not going to like it when it's verbalized, right? But I feel like for some of you, you already know the answer to these questions and you don't like it, right? I'm also hearing that something needs to be negotiated or renegotiated. Maybe you're in some kind of a business deal or financial deal. There's something that you're missing. You need to read over the paperwork again and renegotiate the terms, okay? There's also a message here that some of you are people pleasing and trying to keep the peace at the expense of yourself and your values. If it costs you your peace, it is too expensive, okay? Your avoidance of the problem is actually creating this unsettled energy in you, and it's attracting to you more situations that are unsettling, okay? So I'm also hearing that you're wasting a lot of energy and time in this process of overthinking. I'm hearing this decision paralysis, analysis paralysis. You could be missing opportunities because you think you're not good enough, or again, this overthinking energy, these what ifs, like what if it doesn't work? What if it does work? But again, going back to this message of rapid karma, I'm hearing that there's a situation that you need to deal with before it deals with you. I'm hearing for some of you, this could be financial. For some of you, this could be a relationship issue. I'm hearing that you need to confront somebody about something, or there needs to be a discussion had. And I feel like maybe you're waiting on the other person to take the initiative, but I'm hearing that you need to take the initiative. You need to ask this person, hey, what's going on? Or we need to have a talk. We need to discuss this. I feel like you're the person that needs to initiate this shift, okay? I'm also hearing that if you're struggling with confidence, focus on what it is that you need to do to be more confident. Awareness, self-love, okay? And being willing to face those uncomfortable situations, being willing to at least be aware of what's going on, even if you can't make the changes right now, or even if you still need time to make a decision. I feel like some of you are just avoiding certain situations altogether, and this is not going to be beneficial to either party, okay? Something needs to be dealt with, something needs to be discussed, something needs to be handled, okay? And it needs to be done right away. Okay, because whatever this is, it's just going to keep gaining momentum. It's just going to keep getting worse or getting more intense. So you need to deal with it. Okay. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.